Hi all, this is a quick review on Ansmann batteries and chargers. Okay, a little bit of a tool and battery review today. I've had these products for the last couple of years, and that is a a Powerline 5 Pro from Ansmann charger and Ansmann batteries. You'll also notice I've got some Amazon basics, but they're very new, so we'll talk about those later. But in terms of the Ansmann products, I've been quite impressed actually. It's 2 years down the line. My D-cell batteries that I use for my Maglite conversions and my big torches are still giving very good readings, i.e. they got full capacity after 2 years, and I internally measure the internal resistance, and they're as good as new ones. So I got a pair of these recently, and the measurements on internal resistance were the same as these items, which are 2 years old. So I thought that was pretty good. The AA batteries I've been using as D-cell substitutes, so put 3 together to make 1 D-cell, and using torches. They've been working very well. The AA batteries, I've not had so much luck with these. So as you can see, I've only got 4 there. Now I used to have I think it was 12, but unfortunately I seem to have suffered a failure with these, and it seems to be related to if you notice the bottom of that one. Now in it, I've got a particular torch. If you drop the torch, it will put a dent in the bottom of these batteries. So all the ones that have had a dent in, apart from just this one, have all suffered internal resistance increases. Normally an internal resistance on one of these AA batteries is around 30 to 40 milliohms, but in terms of what I've seen them 60, 80, up to 140 milliohms after being dropped. So I'm not sure if clearly I'm mistreating these a little bit by dropping them, but that's just in normal service use is what I put that down to. So none of the batteries have failed in terms of capacity. They've all had their capacity. It's just the internal resistance has gone up. So I've got rid of the bad ones, and I've recently replaced with these Amazon ones. These are the Amazon basics, exactly the same, I believe. I think these are 850 milliamp hour. Yep, 850 milliamp hour. I've only had these 2 weeks, so it's too early to say yet. Other than the fact is, when I got these out of the packet, they were all charged, and I capacity checked them, and the resistance measurements were all good. So yeah, we'll come back to those in a couple of years maybe. In terms of the charger, really happy with these, because if you know anything about nickel metal hydrides, which all these batteries are, they like to be cycled. So if you just top them up, that rather than discharging and fully recharging, you can get a little bit of memory effect, and I have noticed that with a couple of these cells. I had one of these AAs the other week where I went to charge it, and I did a test on it, and she only had 2 amp hours capacity instead of 2.5. So with these chargers, he was able to do a complete discharge, or a test cycle, which would discharge or charge the battery, discharge the battery, fully recharge the battery, and then measure the capacity, so that you know that your battery's back to full health. So fully recommend getting a decent charger, a name brand one as well, because obviously you don't want to take any chances with battery safety. I must admit, obviously the nickel metal hydrides haven't got the reputation of some of the lithium ions. These are safe technology, but the main thing is you want a good charger that is easy to use and is user friendly. So I'm completely happy with this charger. The only thing I find with it is sometimes these are a bit stiff, as you can see, but I think that's more if you put your finger down and hold the tab properly as you move it, it moves properly. If you bend it from the top, it gets stuck. The only other issue I've found in these is with these D cells, because of the capacity is so high. This has only got a maximum of a 400 milliamp hour, or sorry, a 400 milliamp load for discharging. Now 400 milliamps into 8,500, that takes many hours. So cycling these batteries is, you know, many hours. So, you know, 30 odd hours or more of charging and discharging to get these to be cycled. You know, I've used this overnight and not had any problems. I'm not suggesting that everybody does that, but in the case of trying to do these batteries, and you don't, you know, you want to discharge and completely recharge in one go without stopping, that's what I found necessary. In terms of just going back to the Amazon batteries, I bought a pack of these the other day, and 3 out of the 4 all gave their maximum capacity straight out of the pack. One was about 20% down, but I've cycled it once and it's come back to full capacity. So I'll just put that down to the usual little bit of memory effect with the where they've been sat on the shelf for a while. As I say, I'm hoping for good things out of these, purely because there's a lot of good reviews about them, and not only that, the internal resistance on these is about half of these. Even when these are new, these are half again. So you know, voltage sag on these, if you're running a high power torch, I think is going to be excellent. So time will tell as to whether they hold up in use. These certainly have, and the only issues I've really had is the AAA batteries, but I think that's really down to heavy misuse by me dropping them. We'll see how these Amazon Basics fare when I put them into the same torch and give them the same use, which will be no doubt dropping. Anyway, I also have, as well as this Powerline 5, I've also invested in a Powerline 4 Pro as well. But that's I'll do a review on that if anybody's interested in the future, because I've only had that a couple of weeks as well. So anyway, if you're in the market for a charger, and I think people should be, if you've got high drain devices or any items that you use a lot of batteries for, we use these batteries in clocks as well. So you know, gone are the days of these things self-discharging. They obviously do self-discharge, but it's a much longer period now. I think they quote something like a year down to 80% or something ridiculous. So we use these in low drain devices as well as high drain devices. So the only time you might have problems is the nominal voltage on these is 1.2 rather than 1.5. But using them in torches and clocks and things like that, and remote controls, you're not going to have an issue. You know, and in terms of the torches I'm talking about, I'm not talking about your normal torches. I'm talking about tuned up ones with great big high output 1000 or 2000 lumen bulbs. These things are excellent. Anyway, hopefully you found that useful. Got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and as ever, please share, like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much.